Hi, this is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm here in San Jose at the eMetrics Web Optimization Summit with Eric Peterson, one of the founding figures in web analytics. And I want to talk with you about key performance indicators, KPIs. Sure. First of all, what is one of these KPIs or key performance indicators?
Sure. Key performance indicators are a way to take the tremendous volume of data that the analytics systems produce, Google Analytics, Omniture, Web Trends, and start to turn it into something that's relevant to your business. The way I think about this, I have a hierarchy of analytical needs, and at the base of it, the pyramid, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the base of the pyramid is data. And there's lots of data.
Huge
amounts of data, but relatively low value. And when you start to climb up in this hierarchy, the next tier you hit is information. And information is where I see key performance indicators. They talk about your business, they tell you something specific and valuable and ideally actionable so that you can say, hey, my conversion rate is down. I'd better figure out why. That means less revenue.
So let's talk about what are some typical key performance indicators that small to medium businesses might be using.
Sure. Anybody doing any kind of retail online should be looking at a conversion rate, an order or buyer conversion rate. If you are generating leads, lead generation rate. If you're focused on trying to drive engagement, maybe you're looking at the average number of page views per session, or maybe the number of visits per visitor. There are literally hundreds of key performance indicators. The challenge is figuring out the 3 or 4 that are right for you, especially if you're trying to run a business and you're busy with a lot of other things.
Okay, so an e-commerce business probably is going to be looking at conversion rate as one of their KPIs. What other kinds of things might a typical e-commerce business want to be looking at?
Typical e-commerce business would be looking at conversion rate, would be looking at average order value, would be looking at time to conversion. You would probably be looking at the percentage of repeat sales and the revenue from repeat sales. It really depends on exactly what you're selling and how high or low the consideration is. But there's lots of good key performance indicators for online retailers.
Okay. I'm guessing that a person running one of these stores doesn't really care about everything that could be learned, but if they could see those particular bits of information every week, every month, whatever it is, and to see where they're going with those, that would be of tremendous help.
Yeah, if you're an online retailer though, my standard recommendation is to look at these numbers every day. If you invest money in marketing every day,
okay,
if you invest money in merchandising, if you're spending money with Google every day, look at your retail KPIs every day. Okay. Develop a sense of what they can tell you.
Okay. Now, Google Analytics is used by many people, partly because it's free, but it's also very good.
It's very good.
What kinds of KPIs are built into it that might be useful for, say, an e-commerce kind of site?
Google Analytics, the merchandising functionality, the retailing functionality is fairly complete. So you'll find conversion rates, obviously, average order value will be in there.
My point is you can go into Google Analytics and look at their dashboard often and get an idea of what's going on immediately.
Absolutely.
And over any period of time you select.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's surprisingly simple to use. They've done a really good job with the interface on Google Analytics.
Right. Now, to get the kind of average order value, you have to do a little bit of tweaking to be able to pull that information into Google Analytics. But once you've done it, maybe you pay a consultant a couple $100 to set it up for you, and then you can have that data every day, like you're talking about.
Yeah, and it really depends on your level of sophistication. Some of the SMBs that I've worked with in the past have every bit of JavaScript knowledge required to get Google Analytics to collect all of that retail data. Otherwise, you can go to Google Analytics authorized consultants, the GAC partners, and have them set it up. The key is setting it up. The key is setting it up and actually looking at it, seeing how your e-commerce operation is working online.
Now, different kinds of businesses are going to have different kinds of measures that are helpful to them. What other kinds of KPIs do you see out there that help small to medium businesses?
Well, again, the really big one that I see, again, there's a lot of SMBs that are in the marketing, PR sector. They're focused on lead generation rates. Where do our best leads come from? Where do our most engaged leads come from? So they're looking at a combination of a lead generation rate and some other nominal measure of engagement, be it depth of visit or frequency of return or recency of return. But those are really popular right now, especially in a depressed economy. Everybody's looking for where the next opportunity is, where the next good lead is.
So instead of just looking at data and your eyes sort of glazing over, look for the KPIs that are important to your business.
Yeah, look for that piece of information. Web analytics is hard. I've taken some criticism for saying that, but it holds up. It is universally true. Business people know business, and business people know their business. They don't necessarily know web analytics. By focusing on 3 or 4 or 5 metrics that speak directly to your business, you have a much better chance of taking advantage of the rich power and the suite of tools that web analytics provides.
Great. Well, thanks, Eric, for sharing this. Tell me about your business and what you do.
I am a web analytics consultant. I advise companies of all sizes on setting up and implementing and taking advantage of their web analytics applications, from Omniture to Google Analytics, with clients all around the world.
And you've written a book?
I've written 3 books. Web Analytics Demystified is the one I'm best known for.
Right.
I have an O'Reilly book, Website Measurement Hacks, and relative
I've got
to
that one and I like it.
Good, thank you. Relative to this conversation, the Big Book of Key Performance Indicators. It's an ebook available at webanalyticsdemystified.com. It's $19 and has about 100 pages of information on this very subject.
So to learn more, read the book. Thank you, Eric. This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today.